I grew up having to become self-reliant, having to make plans, having to, cope with life, as it were, being unkind to me, being unfair, and finding a way to be self-reliant. I didn't become a welfare kid. I wasn't like, I was never, I never took a handout. I never did anything like that. I got a job when I was 15 frying chicken, and I worked all through high school. The minute I could work, I started taking care of myself. And then when I started making real money, like at 17, 18, at the caricature stand, and then going to work for Harris Comics, I started paying the bills around the house with that money. So, listen, this stuff actually is probably, I know this sounds hard to believe to some of you pussies, this is actually going to be good for the kids, okay? In a way, it is. They're going to grow up to be stronger, more self-reliant, as long as they can, they realize, to some degree, we got to make sure our own clothes are clean. We got to, we got to feed ourselves. It all sounds terrible. It's going to be better for them. It was better for us in a way. It built stronger Americans, okay? Which is how I see it. So.
You remember how I was telling you that these freaks were going ahead and putting the blame on the kids for Rekieta and his wife going on benders and etc., etc.? Well, this is a new take on it, sort of, and it's a nice little weaselly way to do it. I gotta say, this one dark part of me admires that Ethan Van Sciver could, one, say this with a straight face, and two, try to manipulate the public so seamlessly and so easily. It's almost like he doesn't have a soul anymore. It's almost like he's encompassed the full grift through his heart, or whatever's left of it. Anyway, I got a few questions for Mr. Van Sciver right here, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, since his whole argument seems to be like, well, old school mentality, build character, which is fine, some, truth be told, some of the old school mentality can build character to an extent, but that's where it's weird, because he's mixing these two things, and he's trying to weasel it in to where he can deflect responsibility from Nick, and to essentially say, this is actually a good thing, homies, which is fucking stupid. I don't know what other word to use, please pardon my language. But okay, the whole argument is, well, when I was a teen, I did chores. Number one, you have to believe fucking Ethan Van Sciver's tale in the first place, and given that this is Ethan Van Sciver, who not only does shady dealings with shady people and then turns on them and then pretends like he was never associated with them, not only does he do this, but he consistently lies and grifts for the hell of it and shit. It's already like, you kind of have to be kind of stupid to be taking him at face value, but whatever. If his whole argument is that when he was a teen, he would do chores and blah, blah, blah to cover for Nick's acts. Okay, well, let me ask a couple thought-provoking questions, Van Sciver. First question, were you homeschooled with no outlet away? Number two, were both of your parents, mommy and daddy, were they drug addicts? Mr. Van Sciver. Number three, Mr. Van Sciver, was your daddy a raging alcoholic? And number four, and this is the most important one, because it's the most Christian of all, Mr. Van Sciver, were strangers banging your fucking parents? Because everybody knows that that's fucking normal in Christianity households. Now, chances are Van Sciver isn't going to be able to answer these questions because, number one, he's a dipshit, and number two, these questions kind of poke a hole in the little narrative he's trying to make, which is essentially Baldo guarding, it's essentially nose guarding, whatever you want to call it. It's, as the quartering said, the sweep of the freaking century. I saw some people turning on the quartering a little bit, and they're like taking that attorney Barnes freaking weird anarchist libertarianism, where he essentially says, well, if children are being trafficked and nobody catches it, it's fine. You guys are freaks, you're degenerates, and you guys are literally coming off as pedophiles now. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Barnes' weird defense is incredibly pedophilic. Like essentially he's saying children can be trafficked. In his own logic, by his own logic, he's literally saying children can be trafficked, and as long as nobody catches it, it's fine. That's what fucking Barnes is saying. These people are making weird pedophile arguments for Nick at this point. It's weird. It's fucking disgusting, bro. What the fuck is going on? These are the freaks that are left defending Nick, bro. You got Dax Herrera, Ethan Van Sciver, that Barnes guy, fucking Viva Frey. That Star Wars girl, which thanks to the Kiwi Farms for making this. Who cares if Nick abused 5 kids? You're worse. You want internet views. I swear to God, sometimes these Kiwi farmers don't miss. And this one over here, Your Honor, this case isn't about drug possession or child neglect. It's about the ethics of freeloading 6-year-olds. I swear to God, man, this shit is so funny. Not because of what's happening to the kids, it's a travesty. Sometimes, instead of being sad, you just kind of gotta laugh at the fucking, just the terrible nature of the world, right? Because again, this is a reality that we're living in, you know? Like, these kids are literally in a really bad predicament, right? They really are. Even if you want to make the grand argument that a 16-year-old can fend for himself, sure, to an extent, yeah. And even if you want to make the argument that, oh, it builds character, maybe to an extent, sure. But you're not taking into account the very, very specific factors in this situation. It's like, you got some of the weirdest, most fucked up, most deranged people backing up Nick right now. Oh my God, Ethan Ralph. It just... Ralph of the illustrious kill stream. You know, let's not even get into that. Anyway, guys, this whole thing is fucked up. The sweep of the century has to go the award to Ethan Van Sciver. What a fucking freak. Can you guys tell me in the comment section why everybody that's supporting Nick is a filthy, disgusting, two-faced degenerate at this fucking point? Could it be because Nick himself is all of these things? Perhaps. Perhaps. Anyway, YouTube stuff, like, share, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. I'm out of here. Bye.
And the worst thing too is, and I'm going to tell you this because, guys, we'll talk about this after this, and I'm not going to dox the DMs, but I'm going to tell you something that I know right now for a fact because I'm actually just looking at it right now. Nick is flipping out right now in private, and he is. I'm watching some DMs right now. He's going fucking nuts. Nick is going nuts, and I would expect that Nick may make some statements which he probably shouldn't make, and they go live. But he is. I'm watching him right now live as we're speaking. I'm poking my eye over. He's going fucking crazy, and I'm also watching Nick behind the scenes right now, coping, attacking. Saying that I'm gonna paraphrase because I'm not gonna dox the DM, but Nick is essentially saying right now everything is bullshit. I know who reported it. They have specific animus towards me. You know, he's giving his whole story here in DMs, and this is all going to be used against him. Someone's going to turn this in. I'm in this you know, it's like when you've got, you know, 20, 30 people in here, right? Somebody's going to talk about it. It's stupid. Nick's acting real stupid right now. Real irrational. I would plead if I were him. My suggestion, Nick, is shut the fuck up. Get off of Twitter. Get off of the internet. Get off of locals. Go over there and start talking about a plea deal. You're going to get a lot further than arguing with a bunch of people in dude, oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. Nick just literally, he said, I'm not saying anything else. Talk to me in DMs. And then